always a dilemma to know what to wear to work, especially in more, corporate, professionally type jobs where you can look interesting and chic, but without going too far into the fashion victim area, especially if you are trying to climb the corporate ladder. Hey, I'm Leslie from FashionTribes.com, and this week on Daily Dose of Style, we're looking ahead to the spring 2010 runways. In particular, at one interesting trend we're calling Futuristic Chic, all different facets of it, and today is sort of what would translate well to workwear, how to take it for work. And the good news is there's a lot of jackets on a lot of really cool runways. Of course, the way they're shown on the runway is a little over the top unless you work in an office where, your boss is the devil and she wears Prada. You probably won't be showing up in this tulle confection from Viktor and Rolf. However, you can still take a page from this. I mean, what I love about this is it's just so wildly creative, where everyone's sort of pulling back and worried about sales. Viktor and Rolf go where other designers dare not go. And even if you don't do an asymmetrical lavender tulle on your suit jacket, why not get a bit of an edgier pin, or perhaps look for a jacket, or get one made, that's always an option, where the lapel is maybe a different color, it's a different fabric altogether, or possibly a Moschino-like, different, like color blocking, that sort of thing. Now, the edgier and wilder the trim you choose or color, the more classic the jacket has to be. That will allow you to get away with more, especially if you're at a slightly more conservative workspace. Now, leather is always a cool way to up the edge factor in any wardrobe, like at Yves Saint Laurent and Alexander McQueen. And it might be as simple as just switching out, if you're wearing your brown suit or your black suit, switch out the blazer that comes with it for one in a matching shade, but just leather. And it could be classically cut, but just the leather always just adds that hint of interest. I in particular love this Yves Saint Laurent outfit. It's very ladylike, but at the same time, she is definitely in control. You don't want to mess with her. At Marc Jacobs, they took the idea of the obi, so that it almost is up to the collarbone. The easiest way to take this look is just to use a skinnier belt. Again, like monochromatic jacket and pants, but with a skinnier belt, and it'll look like you have teensy waist, legs that go on for miles. And lastly, black and white chic from Yohji Yamamoto and his daughter Limi, who shows actually under her own name, both show in Paris. And I particularly love the schoolboy, kind of the Demento schoolboy look. If you are in a really creative industry, you can wear that really as off the runway with the skinny tie and the vest. The way to take it up a notch is to add an ankle boot or some kind of a heel, and as you go up the more conservative scale, slightly longer pants, slightly less extreme and wide silhouette. And then the Yohji look, maybe it's as simple as doing some fabric rosettes on one of your white blouses and on, a white pencil skirt. It could be as simple as that. So, and he's kind of made it look as if it were petals scattered. So you sort of go for the same type of feel. You could always get your tailor to do it. Especially, that's a great way to personalize your wardrobe if you're not really good at sewing. Just find a good tailor. Keep it as your secret weapon. And that way, when you get dressed for work, you look like you're going to own your job, take over your boss's job, and take over the world while you're at it.
Hey, it's Audrey from Mom Generations. Now today is our futuristic work day. Now as soon as I saw Leslie's futuristic work pics, I really immediately went to that basic suit. But I didn't want to take a blazer, I didn't want to take a trouser pants, and I didn't want to take a blouse and do that traditional feel. I really wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. So I started with a trouser pant because I really felt for work, you do need a trouser pant. But what I wanted to add to that trouser pant were some vests. I saw in Leslie's futuristic work pics, the tie, the blouse, and I really wanted to play off of that, like a fun, modern work wear without the stuffy suit. So I chose a really fun blouse, almost like a peasant blouse, a little bit of a lace touch, and I wanted to bring two vests into play here. I chose some gray, some charcoal colors. I wanted to stay away from that typical black, navy blue wear. I wanted to have a little bit more fun with it, so I did. I chose some different shades of grays. I also wanted to show a different look to a modern / futuristic workwear by choosing a skirt. I saw that Leslie chose a really fun, very flowy skirt. So I wanted to find a skirt that could really go with modern day wear and add a little bit of a sexier touch to it. So I chose really like a straight skirt, but what I wanted to add with it was a longer blouse. I wanted to add a longer blouse with it, and I wanted to have some fun with some accessories. From Banana Republic, I chose a spectacular, fabulous necklace, bracelet, and ring, all of the same collection. I wanted to have some fun with some oranges, some yellows, almost some ambers. And I wanted to tie all those pieces together with just a statement belt. Attention grabbing, gorgeous, where did you get it belt. Because with Leslie's futuristic workwear, you can see that there were some pieces, obviously, they're a little bit more out of this worldish, but you can interpret that and bring that into a modern feel through some accessories. So I chose two gorgeous belts that you could wear with that longer blouse, with that skirt, and really just get that attention, eye-grabbing feel to this whole modern day workwear. Staying away from that suit, you can do it. You can add some really cool pieces to really accentuate an outfit through accessories. Then as far as a shoe, I really went simple and I went classic. I found just a really classic, simple black pump. So here was my interpretation from Leslie's futuristic workwear into a more modern workwear. And you know what? I would wear any one of these outfits to any meeting, any conference, anywhere. So this is a fun one.